Hello, my name is Enoch, and this is my second speech for our communication course. I am confident that everyone knows about the current crisis going on in the world in relation to immigration and refugees. We face a time where countries are experiencing great hardships, such as internal struggle, war, or even terrorism. Actually, prior to the image of Alan Kurdi, otherwise known as the poor boy who drowned in Turkey in an attempt to find a better life, I didn't have any strong opinions towards the situation. However, as a father, the image shook me to my core and left me with this strong desire to learn more about what's going on. The first thing I learned after my initial question, which was, should developed nations, especially the United States, deny people a chance at a better life, was the true terminology behind immigrant and refugee. The term immigrant can be defined as a person who comes to live permanently in a foreign country. However, the term refugee, according to the USCIS, is any person outside of his or her foreign country of nationality who is unable or unwilling to return to that country because of persecution or fear of persecution. Refugees are obviously in much more of a crucial situation for the need to start a life in another country, such as the United States. With an issue such as the one stated, there are a lot of different viewpoints. A lot of people cried out for the United States to do more after the image of the poor boy. We have a huge space in our country, and the people claim that we should take in more and more refugees, because why not? In the article, Integrating Refugees in the United States, the Success and Challenges of Resettlement in Global Context, Capps and his peers state that the U.S. Refugee Resettlement Program is the largest and oldest in the world. That was very surprising to me. On paper, the United States seems to do a respectable job in resettling refugees. Capps used the theory of association, which is linking a positive or negative value idea to one's persuaded advice when he writes, not only are the refugees being resettled today more diverse in terms of national origin, they also tend to have a wider range or education levels and linguistic levels. That goes against the common theory that people who escape their country to come to the United States will rely on our welfare and will not contribute to society. The article examines data and concludes that integration to the United States actually leads to higher employment rates in other developed countries. Most times, people think that refugees come to the country with no plan. They assume that they immediately become a burden to the taxpayer. However, which could be a problem in its own, the United States is careful in allowing refugees. It turns out that they end up living the American dream. The association is the process of accepting refugees in the United States can be successful. The article did a great job in relaying to me the fact that the United States actually does its part on a world scale. People seem to think that we are doing less in terms of accepting refugees, especially in comparison to, for example, what Germany is doing. However, the article shows that we are ranked highly on a world scale. The debate about if a nation should deny people a chance at a better life will be discussed amongst the citizens of the nation. It's only fair. It is the right for people to express themselves, especially since they pay taxes. Darrell M. West writes, in The Costs and Benefits of Immigration, citizens do not like immigrants who look or act differently from themselves. This can fall into the narrative paradigm. People may feel uncomfortable with immigrants or refugees due to the fact that they're different. It could be in culture and or appearance. To Safi A. Geberdian and Asagit Mavasakalan in Immigration and Political Instability, which I'm sorry for butchering their names, point out how immigration can be perceived as unfavorable to the host country. The study was done throughout developed countries. However, we will look at the data from the United States. It states how, in the United States, the dominant perception of immigrants as non-working beneficiaries, even abusers of a generous welfare system, fuels anti-immigrant sentiments. It comes from a power-oriented perspective. Some Americans are scared of people immigrating to the United States due to the fact that they feel that they may take their jobs. After 9/11, people were biased towards immigrants from Middle Eastern countries. Currently, there is great discussion about the border with Mexico and illegal immigrants coming to take jobs and unfairly live in the United States. Political parties rally around this information during election season. Example, look at what's going on now. However, social movements, which can be seen as influence attempts with the power of people behind them, can go both ways. Jeberdiam and his partners focused on social movements when debating the political consequences of immigrants and refugees. When looking at this article, I feel that the social movements stated there are not true to form of what is going on currently. I feel that society has reached a breaking point, especially with social media and the quick spread of images and news stories. Look how fast things can change through a picture on Twitter. The argument was not persuasive for me. In fact, it made me want to argue that we should do more for people and not decide what makes a person desirable in our nations. We should stop thinking of people in terms of who they are as passport holders. Rather, we should all be seen as citizens of the world. We have enough proof in images and stories to change policies towards refugees and immigrants. We must take narratives and people's experience to save lives. Thank you.